Hello and welcome back to TGTV, and more specifically, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a very special video. Today marks the start of something very exciting. Today marks the start of my journey to get a hypercar, and what better way to do it than joining Hyperlusso, which is a new organisation that involves hypercar owners only. Somehow I managed to get in with this thing down at Octane Collection. This is the first meet they've done, and I'm going to go and see what there is around and also start the journey to looking for a hypercar. So a bit of a drive down here to, I think it's West Sussex where Octane are. So this actually, because it was a fairly grim morning, this was actually not a bad bet, and I have had a few jealous looks from those that have come down here driving through the rain and potholes in their hypercars, wishing they'd brought the truck. Short-lived feelings, I'm sure. A very nice GT2 RS there. We've got a pista. We do have some non-hypercars here. It must be said, there are some non-hypercars here. Not a poor turnout, we must say. Got Mr. Zach's garage. His Countach is here. There we go, labelled aptly. Very, very cool. And fair play to the bloke driving that here. They are not the most user-friendly things to drive. Manual right-hand drive, obviously. Very, very nice. And I don't doubt there is a video with that coming to his channel. That is very cool. That was driven here. What I do like as well, most of these things were not trailered here. They're actually driven, and it was not a pleasant morning of driving coming down here. That is unbelievable. Very, very, very cool. Got P1 here, casual, as you do. Very nice. Again, that rolled in here. You can see muck and whatnot. Spirited little drive on the way down here. This is very cool. This has caught my eye. So Octane have got this for sale. This is actually, to all intents and purposes, is a 911 GT, but is technically a recreation. So pretty much absolutely everything on this is factory spec as Porsche built it, but it didn't leave the factory originally as a 911 GT. So that is actually a cut price way into 911 GT ownership, and that is something I've ummed and ahed and thought about at some length. I think they want $299 for that, which is hundreds of thousands off what that would be if that was a genuine 911 GT. But as far as I'm concerned, if that's been built out of exactly the same parts, then the driving experience would actually be no different. This is their Carrera GT. This is actually currently for sale. I think it's 13,000 odd miles, seal grey. I think that's Ascot terracotta inside. Very, very nice car, and I think they want 1.4, 1.5 for that. Jolly nice. Very, very nice. And that is an early car. That is car number 295. You can see just in front of the gear stick there. And strangely as well, not legal to be driving that car in the UK at the moment on the roads. And there's an update coming with my Carrera GT and what Porsche are doing about it, because they've offered a massive gesture to all Carrera GT owners, which I'm going to go into in a separate video, of course, very soon. Got purple exposed carbon P1. Don't know if you can see that. Exposed carbon on there, absolutely ridiculous. I would like a P1, but it's not top of my list, because top of my list is actually, as if I'd organised it, Huayra. This is what I want to add to my garage. I would love a Huayra at some point. I don't know how it's going to happen, but the journey starts this year. So this year, hopefully, it will happen. The hunt has loosely started, and of course, Charles and Dean will be helping to fund the purchase. It probably wouldn't be this spec. I'm not a white car guy on the whole, but you can't argue with that. It looks absolutely unbelievable. So at some point I will be trying to add one of these to the garage, unless my life falls apart between now and the end of the year, which could well happen, ladies and gents. Got Koenigsegg here. Not for me, Koenigsegg, I don't think. I mean, I can't afford them anyway, but probably not for me anyway. And here we've got a car that I've been aiming to see for a long, long time. This is Mr. Andy74B on Instagram. This is his Zonda Attack. This has recently made its way back to his stable. He bought the car and then sent it to Pagani to do a whole host of upgrades, and it's been done absolutely amazingly. So tasteful. All the personal touches on there. You've got Zonda Attack on that AMG engine there. Even the exhaust pipe is a work of art. It's absolutely unbelievable. Look how that opens. And ideally one day I'd have a Zonda, but I do think Huayra and my Carrera GT would probably be a better pairing than a manual Zonda. What I love about Pagani as well, the way they do all the finishings, the rivets, the leather, absolutely everything. There's nothing that they just sort of bodged on a Friday afternoon. They think about everything. I'd love one of these, absolutely love one. Everywhere you look, it's just artwork. It's unbelievable. Look at it. Moving on then, this is a car also, this nearly joined my garage. It was an orange one. When I went to buy my Carrera GT, it's part of, oh hello. Toodle pip. There was an orange one of these that was in the same collection as my Carrera GT. When I went to buy my Carrera GT, it was between that and the LFA. I did look at trying to buy both, but I really couldn't afford it. So this is a car that is still kind of on the maybe list. I believe this car is going up for well north of £1 million, so I've definitely missed the boat on LFAs. At the time at which I bought my Carrera GT, I believe I could have had the LFA for 500. So yeah, completely screwed that one up, but I didn't have the money at the time. Went for the Carrera GT and said, sorry about that. Over here then we have an F40, an A50, F12 TDF, A12 Competizione, a Veyron casual with a Bitcoin plate, and then we've got two Valkyries over here as well. Havoc, absolute chaos. Daytona SP3 has arrived in green. Jesus wept. That is unbelievable. My God. That's one of the best things I've ever seen. Wow. Careful on that, the old fence there. Oh God. Scared the life out of me, that. Getting a little bit close back there. Look at that. Christ. Here we go then. Not much cooler than the sound of a Valkyrie. Absolutely wild, that thing. So this is one they've got in stock here at Octane, and then the other one over here. Just been speaking to the lovely chap who owns this. He's about to drive it to lunch. We're all going to go on a convoy in a second, but this car over here is actually a chap on Instagram. You may well know who he is, called Jet Collector on Instagram. He's got a Rolls-Royce Spectre and this, amongst other things. Two totally opposite ends of the spectrum, but I believe this was the only right-hand drive prototype that they made, and I think the only full exposed carbon car as well. Very, very, very special piece of kit. He's most known for the fact that he had a Chiron, and I think the Chiron has just disappeared and made way for this. And I think if I had the cash, I'd absolutely go for one of these, but it wouldn't be even having the cash to buy, it would be the cash to run it as well, because I think the running costs on these would be prohibitively expensive for me. I've read the running costs on these and it's absolutely terrifying, but to some that is not an issue at all, and I'm aiming to be one of those people in the near future. So hopefully one day, but for now, no for me, but that would be a bucket list car. And we've also got a Sesto Elemento. This is currently waiting UK road registration, but that's absolutely ridiculous. You can see the gearbox hanging out the back of it. That is a fast. That is joining a very, very, well, actually a very well-known collection. I believe Shmee has filmed with this chap. I'm not going to give too much away because privacy is key, but Shmee has filmed with the chap that has bought this. A young lad, he's filmed with the chap that has bought this, so I'm sure this will be making its way onto YouTube very, very soon. That is absolutely wild. Look at it in there, it's chaos. And actually, straight through into the engine there, obviously it's got the V10 engine in it, and you've got exhaust there and exhaust here as well, coming out of there all the way up through. So I don't quite understand what on earth's going on in here. All I know is that it's complete chaos, but that's absolutely sick. believe they're going to put number plates on that. So I've just reliably been told that it's not a Hurricane engine, it is the engine out of a Superleggera Gallardo. There we go. I didn't know that. Wild. No pressure on Fraser here. Some of you may recognise Fraser. Me and him went out in a 599 GTO, and I think we'll be going out on that LFA very soon as well. The look of stress on his face. LFA is going back inside. We're having this little debate. Is this a hypercar or not? I argued that it definitely is. Engineering wise, it holds its own. It's rare. It's absolutely insane, and I definitely missed the boat on these. I'm absolutely gutted. I just don't think I could probably do it now. I think they're just too much money. For me anyway. It's my fault for being poor. Zonda's on the move. And if you're not following Andy on Instagram, make sure you go and follow him. I think he's had 2 or 3 Carrera GTs. He's had basically every single dream car I've ever wanted. It's absolutely nuts. Veyron on the move. Ow. What an insane convoy. Wild. I was saying earlier, these are undervalued. If you've got 3 to 5 million quid lying around, this is going to be a 10 million pound car one day. So get yourself buying one of them. All right, remember you had it first. It's literally the engine block from Alan Prost's Formula 1 car. Ridiculous. F40 as well. Obviously a very good bet. And we got this 812 competition as well. Lovely, lovely colour. Beautiful. Right, I'm going to join the convoy at the back, I think, and lower the tone in my Brabus. Oh, Carrera GT's on the move as well. Hopefully they don't have a shunt. Not sure how insured that is. Maybe it's going inside. Nope, don't think it is. P1 on the move as well. Again, undervalued car. I think these things have got a very bright future ahead of them. And you definitely do worse than buying one of these for about early 1 millions. That's a hell of a car. Super rare as well. Only 375, I believe, of those ever made. Koenigsegg on the move. Right, time to jump in the banter bus then and lower the tone for absolutely everyone at lunch. So we arrived at the lunch venue, South Lodge. Ridiculous array of cars outside. We've seen these all before, but I just want to show you in a different setting. Rather pleasant setting here. The Brabus has been demoted to the car park over there. It's in good company. So the Huayra's here. I was talking to the owner of this. You'll recognise this car. You recognise this car. It's been on the internet. I think Yanni's done some work with it. But I was talking to the owner. I was saying, what actually are Huayras these days? What is the money that I would have to pay for one of these? We seem to think low 2s, maybe 2.5 thereabouts for a coupe, and this coupe is the one that I want because it's obviously got the gold ring doors. So that's what we'll be looking at. So Charles and Dean are going to have some work on their hands. I also need to find, oh, Veyron's off. Also need to find the cash to stump up on this thing. No, you're all right, mate. Also need to find the cash to stump up because deposit would be probably 20-25%. So 25% of 2.5 million quid. I mean, I'm not a mathematician, but that is a spicy meatball. So that is something for me to work towards. I think it's good to always have something to work towards, and I think the collection would finally be complete with a Huayra. And it wouldn't be beyond the wit of man if I did buy one and I couldn't find one in the right spec to send it back to Pagani and do that whole journey with it, which is what, HR15 there, Mr. Andy74B on Instagram has done with this. I think we're looking at circa 10 mil for this car, so I don't think that is going to be, I don't think that's going to be a realistic prospect. Here we go, Daytona's off. But yeah, Zondas we're looking at sort of 10 to 15 mil now for the spicy ones. Absolutely ridiculous. And I think Lewis Hamilton's car, which was crashed in the Lake District recently, Lewis Hamilton's ex-car, shall I say, which he actually tinned in Monaco as well, was now being binned in the Lake District. I think that went for about 11 mil. So these Zondas are crazy, crazy money. And the Huayras are looking relatively good value compared. So we shall see how we get on with that. That is just unbelievable. I'm going to try not to get the owner in the shot. Painted shields and that kind of greeny blue flick paint. That's probably 25, 30 grand's worth of paint there alone. And those shields are about 6 or 7 grand too. Absolutely wild, and absolutely everywhere you look is carbon on this thing. Potty, absolutely potty. Even the painted stripe. It's probably another 15 grand or so for that alone. I love the fact he doesn't have a private plate. Doesn't care. Perfect. There he goes. See you, mate. Ridiculous. There we go, guys and girls. That's the dream. Let me know in the comments, do you think I'm going to do it? Look at that though. Sucker for a gull wing, as I'm sure you all know. So sick. The whole door is carbon on these. Wild. Perfect. Mind those rims, go steady. Okay, then that is that for a very chaotic vlog. Various bits and bobs going on. I've had a lovely time. A massive thank you to Hypercar. So make sure you go and follow them on Instagram because they're going to be doing lots of other Hypercar events. And stay tuned for my Hypercar journey. It may or may not go according to plan. We shall see. For now, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to jump in my Brabus. This is Countach, the Carrera GT there, casual. And I'll see you all very soon. Bye.